What is up, my model building friends? That's my rattle can shenanigans opening there. So what's going on, guys? Hey, it's Brian, and we are doing an update on our buddy build with Dylan. We're doing the Baldwin Motion 1969 Corvette by Revell. Really cool kit. There's a couple other guys out there in the community that are working on these things at the same time. They all have had the same comment that they are loving the kit, and I am too. This is the second one I've built, and I don't really like to build more than one version of a kit. It doesn't really give me that sense of completion that I'm looking for if I keep building the same thing over and over again. But there are two kits that I would gladly do over and over again. One is the Revell Cobra, and the other one is this particular Corvette, and that one is this guy. So we finally got him in color over the weekend. We sprayed him on Saturday, and it just looks awesome. We used our friends over at Splash Paints, and we did B5 blue, which is a Mopar color. I don't mind. It's still an absolutely beautiful blue. We don't have a clear coat on it yet. We were hoping to do that today, but there's a fly in the ointment. We got some weather coming in, and that makes spraying in the garage a little more difficult because we do not want to do 2K clear in the house. That would be extremely bad for everybody. We'll get the clear lung, and that's not good. But yeah, this we did this over the Splash primer. We used the 1K gray surface primer. I love this stuff. Turns out this is actually an acrylic primer. So cleanup was real easy. It went on real nice. We just had to relearn how to spray acrylic. Nice light passes. We got it taken care of, and yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. So we are totally chuffed about that. We're gonna move on to the engine. Here's our engine. That's small. Let's bring it in closer. Here we go. So we did a little bit of a rust treatment on our headers. We always like to do that. We have our orange oil filter. It's either a white Wix filter or an orange Fram filter. And yes, I know this is probably a sleeve that goes over a filter element, but I like the difference in color there. It gives a little bit of visual interest, and that's the key word when it comes to model building: visual interest. It's getting some nice lens flares off the chrome there. Let's see here. So we did have a little trouble with our distributor fitting on there, so we cut that to fit. I think that's supposed to actually fit up inside this box here. I presume that this little box here was supposed to be what protects the radio from the RF signal. The last Corvette that we built did not have anything on there because it actually had the radio delete in the kit, so that was kind of fun. This one actually has the radio molded into the dashboard, so we need to make sure that our plastic radio that doesn't work doesn't have RF signal interference. Speaking of radials, we're using bias plies. We're using the Parts Pack Redline tires. These are the larger of the two that come in the set. I like how these look on these cars. I did them on the last one that I did. That makes perfect sense. I used them on the last one that we built, and I really like how it fills the wheel wells. Really nice. And a Redline tire would seem period correct as far as I'm concerned. I have the smaller set here. Just a little bit of a concern about how well that's filling that wheel well. Also, we won't know until final assembly how high that front end's going to sit. So it could be a skyjacker like that, or most likely it's going to be like something like that. So we want to fill the space accordingly. And then our interior, we wanted to do the white interior, which would have been consisting of white seats, white door cards, and that's it. And that looked weird. It looked like a couple of penguins going out on a date. So I went ahead and sprayed them semi-gloss black, which gives them a nice pleather look. And we're going to go with that. Also, we did the dashboard in rubber black to try and mimic the that rubberized coating or whatever that jazz was that they would put on dashboards in order for it to be a safety feature. So we have that on there, and then we just have to detail paint all the little switches, knobs, levers, and gears. Okay, we'll go with that, gears. And then here is the actual, there goes the wheel. Oh, you picked a fine time to leave me. There we go. So we did this one in German gray. and then we'll go back around the bead in the lip there and then do that with a little bit of Molotow pen, but we'll have to wait until after we've pressed them into our tires for the last time, and then we'll take care of that. Let's see, we are banging away on this as best we can. Mr. Dillon has run away and left us, the little bugger. But in my defense, I have been adulting, so, and I don't recommend it. It's not a lot of fun, but you know what it is. There we go. So here's our front grille, and we did our lights and did a little bit of a black wash on there. I really like how these turn out when you do just a light black wash. And then we're doing the side pipes, which is a must on this particular car. That's upside down. There we go. So we just did another light black wash with Tamiya panel liner to bring out the grooving. I got it wrong. It goes this way. Oh my. So yeah, so there we go. It's looking pretty cool. Again, you'll do a little bit more inside the opening there. But that's looking awesome. And then this is something I kind of was goofing around with. Here's our fluid bottle, right? I wanted it to look like there was fluid in there. So I painted it flat white, masked it, painted on some intermediate blue, which is not very well painted on there, but you know, it is what it is. And then went back over the whole thing with just the lightest dusting of gloss white. And when you hold it way back here, it looks great. So I probably won't even see it in the engine compartment, but I wanted to experiment with that type of painting technique to make it look like there's something in there. And I presume it's a washer bottle. I don't think the overflow bottle would have been plastic on these guys. So I did what would look like washer fluid in there. If it was a radiator overflow bottle, I would have done like electric green or something like that. That would have been kind of fun. So let's see, radiators are top of the chart here. I just went over it with a pencil real fast to bring out some of the screen detail, and then I wanted an aluminum style radiator for our car, so I went ahead and just painted that aluminum, and then did a little black wash on there. I still have to clean up a little bit more on there, but I thought because we were going to be black on black on black, that was going to be kind of lost. So I figured, well, let's do an aluminum radiator. That'll look really cool. I'm sure they didn't have those back in the day, but it's just, we're just having some fun with this guy here. And speaking of fun, here is our chassis. We have this guy a little bit dingy, as a chassis would be. This isn't going to be a show car. This is a driver. I still want to do a little bit of dry brushing on some areas here and there. And then I do have to touch up my shocks, because apparently these are where I had them pinned when I was painting them, and it was like in the exact wrong spot. So yeah, that didn't work out so well. But well, they sure do show up nice there though. So that's basically where we're at. We have our decals. We put them in the front room window for I don't know how long, because I lost them. I couldn't find them. I was looking for them. And then I realized, you know what? They're in the front room window, because I went up to go get the mail and then saw them in the window, taped to the window. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's where they got off to. So they look actually really good. So yeah, I'm happy with that. All right, guys and gals, we'll talk to you a little bit later on. Bye now.